Hi everyone, welcome back to video 3. In this video, I want to demonstrate and show you an example of how you would meditate using the breath meditation. And then I want to give you an example of a mindfulness technique that will complement your meditation and help bring out the value of your meditation into your everyday life, something you can do outside of meditation. Okay? So, to begin meditation, just sit comfortably in a comfortable position where your body can feel rested and not be uncomfortable where you were to sit there for 15 to 20 minutes. And close your eyes and begin to notice your breath. At first, your breath will increase as you put your attention on it, but then you will notice that it will begin to flow in a more natural way. Allow your breath just to fill your lungs, not too much, not too little, but comfortably. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. In this breath meditation, you're not imagining anything, because imagination is going to just lead your mind to thoughts. And the purpose of our meditation is to go beyond thoughts, to go to the field of pure being. Allow the body to reach deep relaxation, and allow the mind to go beyond thought. So we just pay attention to the breath. And what we're feeling is we are feeling the chest rising and falling with every breath. We begin to feel the air moving through our nostrils and into our mouth and down our throat, filling our lungs. Now when we begin this, we will notice the thoughts will come into our mind. What am I doing? Am I doing this right? And you're just going to choose to favor your attention on the breath. This is the key here. The effortlessness comes with the word favoring. You're not trying to push out your thoughts. You're just favoring, you're leaning your attention more towards your breath than you are to the thoughts. And soon the thoughts will quiet down. For people who have very busy minds, it might take a little longer. The key here is not to fight the breath with the thoughts, but just to come back to the thoughts. One of the beautiful parts of meditation, and I might have mentioned this in video 2, is that we notice in meditation that how the mind works, how the mind thinks, how the mind jumps around from thought to thought. And this is a very good example for us in this breath meditation to say, oh, there's my mind thinking about what I'm going to do later, thinking about that hot date I have tonight, but I'm going to put my awareness on my breath. And eventually, you get skilled at focusing your attention. For some people, it might be an effort to focus their attention at first. So have some patience and just give yourself the time. Don't expect for everything to be perfect in the very first meditation. And just begin to just put your awareness on the breath. Now, it's important that you're breathing easily and slowly, because if you breathe too fast, you'll kind of get out of breath and it'll be very upsetting, and it'll bring you out of any deeper state that you're reaching. You're not able to notice the depth of your meditation at first because it's so natural. But if you hear a noise in the other room, or if you forget to turn your phone off and it goes off, you'll feel startled and you'll realize, wow, I was deep somewhere and I didn't even know it. Why? I'm not usually startled by a phone. So turn your phone off. Let your pets go outside of the room so they don't jump on your lap and disturb you at the wrong moment. And just allow and keep everything sort of copacetic so you're not shocked and disturbed. You give yourself a good 15, 20 minutes and just allow yourself to be with the breath. After some practice, maybe not in the first meditation or maybe in the second, I don't know how it will work for you, but at some time in the future, you'll begin to feel that there's a space between your breaths where your mind just sort of gets real quiet. And you may forget to take a breath. And then when you realize that you haven't breathed, go ahead and take your breath. And you'll probably notice that when you come out of that kind of situation, you'll have a thought in your mind. Because remember the mind-body coordination? You're going in, resting. Even if it's just for a moment, you're resting. You're coming out with a thought, going back onto the breath. With each breath, maybe you'll feel yourself go a little deeper. Usually on the exhalations, you'll feel yourself go a little deeper. And then there'll be maybe a gap again, and you'll come out. And this is perfect meditation, perfect breath meditation. I could replace the word breath with mantra, and it's almost exactly the same. So in this way, you're going to go in and out, and in with the breath, and out. And in your 20 minutes, you'll be going in and out a lot. It's not in, wait 20 minutes, come out and get up and go. It's actually in and out, because as you go in, your body will rest and cause some activity, and your mind will come out with a thought. You'll come back to your breath and go back in again. And what are the keys that you need to remember? Don't fight the thought with the breath. Breath and thought might even be there together for a little while. Fine. Don't create a battle. If they're both there together, you favor with your attention the breath, and the thought will eventually go off on its own. Thoughts come in and out of your mind like clouds moving across the sky. You keep your attention on your breath, and at one point you'll feel very peaceful, very quiet. When your allotted time for meditating is over, don't set an alarm, because that alarm will really shock you and disturb you. I recommend that you keep a watch or a clock close by in eye range, and open one eye and take a look at it to see where you are, and then close it. That won't bring you up too much, so to speak, or out of the meditation state too much. But an alarm will actually, you'll jump. Maybe some of you need to do that to learn that lesson, I don't know, but I certainly did. But just go ahead and just go back to it. When the 20 minutes is up, you go home, get up slowly, don't jump out of your chair, don't open your eyes immediately. Let's take a nice, deep, long breath and stretch. Come back into your body. Come back. You've been in a deep level of thinking, deep level of being. Allow yourself to come into your body fully. And then the last thing you do is open your eyes. which is why it's a good idea to have the lights sort of dimmed in your meditation room so that when you open your eyes after meditating, the light is not very strong and doesn't shock you. Hmm? Very good. And in this way, you'll meditate, and your ability to favor the breath instead of the thought will get stronger and stronger with practice. The key is effortlessness. Favor the mantra. Don't try to push out the thought. Thoughts have a place in your meditation. You're going to go in by means of the breath. You're going to reach a deep level of rest. Maybe go into a gap where there's nothing. And then you're going to come out with a thought. And the thought is the result of the rest in the body, the mind-body coordination. Thoughts are part of your meditation. Thoughts are perfect to be in your meditation. You can't have a thoughtless meditation. You only have gaps of no thought, and that's perfect. Those gaps can grow, those gaps can shorten. Remember that your experience will change from day to day depending on the state of your mind and body. If you're very nervous, if you're upset and you try to sit down and meditate, it may take you a while to settle in. Also, if you sit down and you're also very exhausted, it's very likely you'll fall asleep. But even if you fall asleep from the result of going deep into your meditation, that's what the body needed, and that's a perfect meditation. Remember, don't hold meditation or an image of meditation of what it should be. Be in the moment with it. You're meditating to expand your mind and heal your body. Your mind and body are part of the meditation. Therefore, they are an integral part. So lots of thought means lots of healing. Lots of thought could also mean the mind's wondering what's going on. I just experienced nothing and I can't experience nothing. And it gets a little nervous and you calm it down and come back to the breath. Falling asleep, getting sleepy, is the body needs rest. This is a beginning practice, and I will be here to help you in advanced stages as you grow. But I wanted to give you a beginning to get started on. Later on, I can help you move into deeper levels and deeper practices. So try that out. This video, is available to you. So you're bookmarking this page so you can come back to it and listen to it again. If you need some personal help from me, I can be reached on my website. Okay? Good. Now let's practice a mindfulness exercise that's so complementary to meditation that it's like bread and butter as far as I'm concerned. Because what we're doing in meditation is we're contacting a deep source of being, of energy, of positiveness, of clarity, of a wakefulness, of the soul of who we are, the being of who we are. And we contact it in meditation, and we contact it in our consciousness as we experience that. But to bring it out into the world, to embody it into the world, is another great, great practice. And we can't do that in meditation because in meditation, our eyes are closed, we're sitting. But outside of meditation, we can help encourage that. So, let me share with you a mindfulness practice that I like very much. It's a good beginning. And that is that when you're walking about in your world, doing what you're doing, in your mind, you stop for a moment and you ask yourself a question. and you ask the question, who's experiencing whatever you're experiencing in that moment? Let's say you're eating an apple, and you're eating this apple, and you ask yourself, who's eating this apple? And you'll hear your mind tell you, you'll hear yourself say to yourself, I am. Ask the question, who is the I that is experiencing this apple? You say, well, it's Ed. Who is Ed? Ed is just a name. Who is Ed? Ed's a meditation teacher. And who is a meditation teacher? Ed. I said Ed. Well, yeah, that's Ed, the mind, Ed, the concept. But who is behind the Ed that's experiencing the apple? And when we get to that point, the mind won't know what else to say. The mind, well, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? Who is it? It's me. It's my mind. It's Ed. And let the mind be confused for a little while. This may seem like a useless practice, but believe me, it begins to awaken a part of your being. And it's a question when the mind cannot answer, the mind sort of shuts down. And when the mind shuts down, what's beneath the mind comes forward. So being, awareness, is the basis of thought. When you stop thinking, your essence is right there. In meditation, we experience it with the gap. You go in with the breath, or you go in with the mantra, and it gets real quiet and real quiet. And all of a sudden you reach a breath where it's just, you don't remember the in-breath. You just go in. You just go in. It's the gap. Pure awareness is what you're experiencing. It can't be described. It can't be shaped. It can't be touched, felt. It just is. Now, that's the same energy that's going to come forward, that's being welcomed forward when you ask the question and you continue asking the question, who am I? Who's eating this apple? What awareness is watching me eat this apple? You don't really need to understand it fully for it to work. This mindfulness technique is asking you to be mindful of who you are, who you really are. Now, I will give you one caveat. Sometimes the mindfulness techniques, this one that I'm giving you, is something that's very close to what we call inquiry, self-awareness, the I am. And sometimes when we're not very familiar with the gap in our meditation, it becomes very, very abstract. So the more and more you meditate, and the more regularly you meditate, and the more you become familiar with the no thing in your meditation, the gap between breath, between thought. The more you become familiar with that, the more familiar you will be, the more able you will be able to recognize it with your eyes open when you ask the question, who's experiencing this moment? And when you hear an answer, you ask the question again. Well, who's experiencing Ed experiencing the apple? This is a little more difficult, a little more abstract than meditation. And if it doesn't feel comfortable at first, you don't need to do it. Just stay with your meditation. It will certainly feel like enough. But know that this is available to you to complement your meditation throughout the day. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed these 3 videos. I've tried to lay out a small piece of the live online course that I'm giving that entails so much more than what I've been able to give you in this short period of time in these short 3 videos. So I invite you to continue meditating. I invite you to go below and get on the wait list for when this course will be released, or just learn more about it and sign up for it. Sign up to be notified when it's going to be given, or for more information on it. And if at any time I can help you in your meditation or your mindfulness practice, contact me on my website, and I look forward to hearing from you, and thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to show you this precious gift. Take care. Be well.